This is the story of Sugarborn Bakery. How's the weather today, Julie? Over there?
The weather is very good. Here it's warm. It's very warm and sunny. Today we live in the Bay Area, so it's the weather is always mostly good.
Okay. Tell me, how did you come with the bakery, and what role has the bakery played in the local community over the past 4.5 decades?
So we came here. We were refugee. We didn't have any money. We did not have the ability to speak English. So the common way to make a living would be go to work for people in dishwasher or seamstress, right? So we 5 years after we came to the United States, we bought a small coffee shop called Sugarborn Bakery. That's very small, 2,500 square foot. Then we, all our siblings work there, right? All the families members work there, and then we integrated phở and mì and giò trâu quẩy. We make all kinds of Asian type food. And then we grew from there, right? So, and then the Vietnamese community at that time was not very big, Asian community, but they came to our bakery and they have coffee in the morning. They have products, and then so we grew from there. Then we opened up 7 different retail locations, and then I was instrumental to bring it to the hotels, right? So we bring Asian pastry to the hotel. Sometimes the hotel laugh at us, say, "Oh, you know what? This is Asian cake, so it's not sweet enough for their clients." But we were very persistent. So we went to, we tried to sell it to the hotels, and eventually we sell to a lot of hotels in the Bay Area. And then we participate in the community, right? So we donate to local communities like the Asian Pacific Fund, that they give money to the 80 different organizations in the Bay Area to focus on helping the Asians people. And then we donate to some of the organizations in the Bay Area as well. And so that's how we build our companies up from $300 sales a day, right, to 7 different retail locations, a lot of different products. And then 2010, we decided to get out the complexity and we'll focus into simplicity, right? So we have 750 different products, 4,000 SKUs. We took 3 products to Hayward, right? And then we reduced to 90 SKUs. And then we opened up 2 manufacturing plants, and then we scale it up. So now the company, in 2010, the company was about $48 million sales. Today we are about 4 times of that, size, right? And then so that's how we scale up the business, and that's how we we focus into doing less for more. And your point, simplicity is, only the geniuses can reduce the complicated to this simple. So making it simple make us focus. So that's how we focus on the 3 different products. And now we have 7 different products, but we have our products is in about 11 countries. So about in 16,000 stores. If you go to Costco, you see our products there. You go to Publix, you see our products there. You go to Safeway, you see our products there. And you go even if you go to a certain store, they ask us to put in their name. So you don't see our name, but our product is there.
They know that the product belong to Vietnamese operation. Does they know that? I mean the clients, the customer.
The customer know it because we always tell our story, tell our immigration story, how we came here, how we value our heritage, how we bring, diversity into the countries, how we want to help, employ, refugee, populations. Big company like Costco, they love it. They love to have diversities. They love to have smaller companies. But you have to do your job to make sure that your product sells, right? So that's what we do, and that's how all the customers, they welcome us with open arms, right? So, but the Vietnamese community didn't know that. Many Vietnamese community didn't know Sugar Bowl Bakery was owned by Vietnamese. Right?
That's what I want to ask. Yes. Yeah.
And then in 2008, when Costco put us on a Costco connection, right? And then that publication went to more than 100 million people. And then a lot of Vietnamese know that is Asian owned. And then Kellen, we keep on telling our story, right? So we are authentic. We tell our Vietnamese immigration story. We tell truly and honestly, right? Even though in Vietnam, we live in the village, we live in a countryside, we were poor, we didn't have education, but we came here, we don't forget our root. So we always tell that story. And then that's how people like you to tell the authentic story. You don't pretend to be somebody else, right? You are always Vietnamese, and that's why I tell people.
Oh, I love you too, Andrew. I love the word authentic.
Thank you.
So how has the original vision of the founders, means you and your siblings, remained intact, and how has it influenced the bakery's growth and success?
So working with 5 siblings working together, that means 5 families, is a lot of talents, right? So that siblings, the rivalries, but because we're Asian, we're from Vietnam, we know that we came here together, and then we want to make sure that we take care of each other. So regardless how much you get frustrated, you still want to make sure that you calm down. Right? Sometimes you argue and you take that glass of water, you walk in the parking lot and cool it down and come back and you talk again. But you know what? I believe that discipline, respect, hard work, and make sure that you think good with other people, right? So that will make you a lot more tolerant, and make you a leader. You are a leader. If you are a leader, then you have to make sure that you are patient. You listen to people. You embrace the idea, even though if their idea are not good, then you tell them or you listen to them, but you don't have to do it. You do what is right. People say doing the right thing is very hard, but doing the right thing, if you do the right thing, you are always right. So make sure that we are patient, we do the right thing, provide that leadership, think well of others, and then keep improving. Right. So in the family business, it's not like you get investors. If you get investors, then you have to work fast. Right. People are expendable, but you work in the family business like ours. Right. People are not expendables. We love the people who work here for us. So some people just came from Vietnam. They walked into our bakery. They work for us. They work there for 30 years or 25, 30 years. Some people, when we moved to Hayward, some people, live in San Francisco, they travel to Hayward 45 to 1 hour every day, but they cross the bridge and they go there, work for 20, some 30 years. Some people came here and they started with Sugar Bowl Bakery, and they asked us to transfer them to Atlanta. Right? And we transfer them to Atlanta. They are able to buy a house there. Right? So husband and wife, husband work in one production line, the wife work in the other production line. They are able to buy a house. So we believe that, you know, as long as we walk toward the right direction, we treat the people right, we bring the people together with us, right? Then we will get far away, right? So people say, if you want to go fast, then you go alone. But you want to go far, then you go with us. We go together. So that's our philosophy of doing business as a family business. We don't look at only profit. You know, of course, the company has to make money, right? To be able to promote people, hire more people, reinvest into the company. But sometimes it's okay if 1 year we don't make money, it's okay. We'll focus to next year. But we always people first, right? People, product, planet. That's the way we always look at it.
What is your favorite quote of life? I mean, the philosophy quote that make you more stronger, more power, day to day, month to month, to move forward together with your people.
So people say you don't have to be a CEO to be a leader, right? You can be if you are a leader and then you happen to be the CEO, yes, right? A CEO mostly is a leader, but I am not the oldest in the family, right? So I'm in the middle of the five, right? So I have two older brothers, two younger brothers. I'm in middle, right? But I love to read. I read book every day. You know, I love to talk to people like you. I love to learn from you. I love to learn from people. So I am a professional student. I love to learn, and then that's how I came here. I didn't even finish 6th grade in Vietnam. I went to ESL school, and then I went to City College of San Francisco for 2 years. ESL school 1 year. City College of San Francisco for 3 years, and San Francisco State University for 2 years. Right. So I got a AS degree in computer science, and I got a BS degree in accounting, and I speak English. So that's why I have business arguments, because I read story like the founder of Walmart. I read Steve Jobs story. I read Bill Gates story and Warren Buffett story. So I love to learn, and then that's how, you know, that's how I take risks, and I know that it was risky to expand it. My siblings love to stay small, but I say in America, you know, this is a land of opportunity. We have to dream big, right? We have to dream big. Even though we didn't know that, you know, one day the company is having 600 people working for us, or 300,000 square foot facility, or the product selling in, you know, 11 countries. But at that time, one foot in front of the others, we have to walk forward. So that's how I became a CEO for 38 years. And then I kept on being persistent. So you have to make great products. You have to be kind to people. You have to work hard. You have to be persistent. And then you have to know that making things simple every day will enable your people to focus. Right? You cannot make too complex. Complexity will always spread out your effort.
Disaster.
That means you do more for less. Right? So simplicity, you do less for more. Right? People say it's the art of additions. You get more, but you do less. So addition by subtraction, you subtract the complexity, and then you focus on something that's meaningful to you and your business. That's how we embrace it. And today, you walk into our bakery, you see only a few products. We don't make a lot of different products, only a few. And then the line will run can make 3,000 cookies 1 minute, right? So we we just keep on making a few products, and that is the art of being simplicity, and treat people right, and being persistent, and overcome adversity is the key too, right? And don't give up. Some people have a little obstacle here and there, they give up. No, you have to overcome obstacle to be better, right? If you want to be better, then you have to overcome obstacle. If there's no smooth journey, believe me, there's no smooth, right? So when you drive on a freeway, you always discover new horizons. So you drive on Highway 5, for example, and then you see different scenic, different town, different horizons. So that is same thing as doing business.
Can you tell me any interesting story, or even anytime if you want to give up, any story that you never forget during the past 45 years?
Well, there are a number of occasions, but I never think that I should give up. One is when we try to buy that original store. The landlord didn't want to lend to us. They didn't even want to talk to us, right?
Because
so they
any reason?
The landlord.
Why? Any reason? Because
we were immigrants. We didn't have any background. We didn't have any money to back up our, So that is one that, I feel so bad. I say, even the landlord is not white people. They are Asian people. Right? So that is one of the things that I feel, one day if I become a landlord, I couldn't do that. So now we are landlord. We have some building to to lease to people, and we love to work with our tenants. Right? So that is one. The second one is when we go to buy a van for our business, and the people there didn't want to sell to us because we didn't have credit. We didn't have the money to pay off, but we want to, but those things are a typical example why it was, it was obstacle, right? But I always think that, obstacle, we can overcome obstacle by thinking about how to do things better. And then let me tell you the story. The second building that I expanded, right? That building was a rundown building. So we tried to buy the building, right? Nobody wanted to finance us. It's $269,000. We had about 20% down payment, but no bank wanted to finance us because we didn't have any credit. Right? So luckily that the agent was able to convince the seller to finance us, and that is the older couple, Mexican couple. They wanted to make sure that they receive their money every month, so they financed us. So I still remember we paid them $2,246.47 for 10 years. I wrote that check every month to pay them, and it was like 30 some years ago, and that building's still there. And a few weeks later, the mayor of Daly City came and said, "Andrew, you know this building?" I say, "No." He said that building was a nightclub. 7 people shot, injured, 2 people dead inside. That's why nobody wanted that building. Right? Wow. And sometimes in business, you don't know a lot of things. It's better than you know it. And we bought that building, and then we grew from there. And that was we were able to make more products, sell to the hotels, sell to 7-Elevens, and that is a stepstone toward our growth, until today. So that building's still there, you know, our parents, we moved our parents to live next door, and then you know, we you know, we stayed there for many years until 2010 that my siblings get a little older, so they decided to retire. So we you know, we sold the business, but we keep the building.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
so quite a few obstacles, just like, you know, like the COVID time, right? The COVID time. At the time we took over the building in Atlanta, that was a bigger building, a lot bigger, 170,000 square foot building, right? We took it, we signed a contract literally one day before COVID came. COVID. And then we couldn't travel. We couldn't do anything. And then we have to build from, you know, the West Coast. We have to command the people. The other side, we hire people. We use technology like you and I talk today, Zoom technology or Microsoft Teams. And then we build it up, you know, for the last 2 years. The 2020, 2021, 2023, 3 years were tough, right? A lot of people could have given up. We never want to give up. We know that if the COVID goes away, that is our future. It's a lot bigger future. So today, that building running, you know, similar to here, and we have 300 people working there in Atlanta. So we have to go through, you know, overcome obstacle. Never give up. Right? People give up. That is a waste of, you know, your energy. Giving up is a lot more difficult. I mean, a lot will give you a lot more difficult in life than overcoming obstacle. So along the journey, there are a lot of obstacles, but we know how to keep calm, and think through it. Work with people, listen to people. I can you know, reach out to people. Let's say today I talk to you, I learn something from you, and that will integrate into my philosophy of running a business, right? Listening to people. So I always tell people, work hard, stay humble, and be kind. That I sum up my life: work hard, stay humble, and be kind. And those three things. That's my life.
Do you mind if I ask about the strength and a weakness of Cô Chú Lý, chú enter? What is the strength and the weakness?
My strength is I work very hard, and I think very well of people. I think kindly with people. I love to help people. I give people opportunity to do things, and I'm a family man. I never give, you know, I never abandon my family in, you know, in one day or certain, you know, hours. People can go out there and enjoy a cocktail and watch football or whatever. I never do that. I always, after work, I always come home. I can work 24 hours.
Family.
Family. So family, business, community that way. So, and I go participate in community events. So in the community, they usually want me to participate into, you know, certain things. I can't do so much. So I participate in certain community that helps the broader Asian people, right? My weakness is I'm working too hard sometimes.
And strength is the weakness.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes, right, I get a little frustrated a little easily, right? But luckily that, you know, I was trained to calm down. When I get frustrated, I calm down. And then I give people too much chance. Sometimes people make mistake that is clearly I have to make a decision, but I keep on giving people, you know, opportunity to change it. And sometimes that is weakness too, right? Because, you know, if that person cannot change, then that person cannot change. Right? So Caitlin, I read book, and then there's a book called talking about a relationship between a employer and employee is like a pair of shoes and your feet, right? Let's say employees is a pair of shoes, companies is your feet, and the pair of shoes made by brand name like Adidas or Nike, beautiful shoes, but it doesn't. They don't fit into your feet, right? When you put the pair of shoes on, then it hurt your feet, and then you cannot walk, you cannot run, you cannot win ball game, right? So it has nothing wrong. You get that pair of shoes, return that pair of shoes to the store. They put on the store. It may fit somebody else's feet, right? So the meaning is that employees cannot fit into the company culture. You don't have to have that employees, and that employee can work for somebody else, but that employee may fit into the different company's culture.
I got you.
So that is what I always think. I give people too much chance, and sometimes they go so bad, and I have to deal with it. Right? So in business, sometimes it's not because we are bad or the employees bad, but because it cannot fit in. Right? So you know what? That is my philosophy of life. I can be bad because I give people too much chances.
That is the tip of the day. My tip of the day. That one.
Thank
you. Wow. Why you didn't change the name, the original name of the store? Why did you keep Sugar Bone Bakery?
Yeah,
particular reason?
Yeah, Sugar Bowl Bakery was there for a number of years, founded by a gentleman, a Caucasian gentleman, in the I think it's in the 50s, right? So their family worked there until he retired. He sold it to a couple from Hong Kong, and that couple couldn't manage, so the business went down. That's why we bought it, right? And then we bought that one. There's a big sign up there called Sugar Bowl Bakery. You look at the original store, you see that sign, humongous sign. And then so we didn't want to change it. At that time, we didn't have money. If you change it, you have to take it down, and then you have to put.
I got you. Yes,
yeah. And it costs a lot more. But the name Sugar Bowl Bakery back then was not bad, right? So we kept it there, and then we have, and then we put the Chinese name on it. Say, Tiệm bánh Hòa Hiệp. Tiệm bánh Hòa Hiệp. So we have our Vietnamese and Chinese name up there too. So we kept that name, and then that name is recognizable by many people. But we changed the logo.
Okay. I'm curious to ask because you are Chinese root. So as I know, Chinese tradition, the Chinese people, they are very, very admire and appreciate the spirit of family. So is that the way you run your company during the past, for more than around 45 years until now?
Yeah, we my dad is Chu Chao from China. My mom Chu Chao was born in Vietnam. I came from a Chinese family, but I also very Vietnamese because I had a lot of Vietnamese friends. People always told me that I have to recognize myself as a Chinese. I said, you know what? I recognize myself as a Vietnamese because in my passport it says Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't forget my root that my parents are Chinese. And yes, we are very disciplined. Chinese, Vietnamese, in general, from Vietnam, are very disciplined. Family values, right? We always value families, value our friends and community, right? And we are disciplined. We love education. We love to go to school. We love our children to go to school. We love them to to stay out of trouble. And we love to honor good heritage.
Yeah.
So that your question, to answer your question, yes, we brought in traditions of disciplines and family value and hard work, right?
Yeah.
And then so that is what make us here today. I am not the only Vietnamese Chinese that is successful doing business in this scale in America. I'm sure you interview many people who are successful. We are different. Some people do high tech. Some people do publications. Some people do bakery like me, or others do restaurants, right? But we are all becoming successful, all because of our hard work, our value, and our persistence, perseverance, right? So all of those have to be in the business. You have to put your heart into it, and to put what you do into your heart, to be able to be successful, right? So people say market and create trends or whatever. No, it's passion create trends. Passion create company. Passion create future, right? You have to have passion, right? You have to have passion to do constantly every single day. Right? So people say success. How do I define success? I say success is a journey, it's not a destination. It has to be forever. It's not one toward that end and then stop. No, you don't. You have to. It has to be ongoing. Today, let's say if I'm not here today, my company is still going because I do some kind of succession to make sure that the company stay here forever, even though I'm not here. Right? So success is a journey. It's not a destination. If we define success as a destination, then it will stop somewhere. Right? So it doesn't. It has to go on forever.
So are there any plans or visions for the future of the bakery that you are ready to enter the next chapter?
Well, the plan for the family business is successions. A good person, a talented person, run the business. I have a couple of nephews. I have two sons.
Yeah.
One is engineer, one is a doctor. They are not gonna be in the business.
Oh, okay.
Because their heart is not in the bakery business. Their heart is in what they want to do.
Yes.
I have a couple of nephews, right? Some work there. They are good in sales. One good in administrations. The others are good in support, right? And then all the other nephews and nieces, they have their own careers as nurses or whatever, right? But I hire a CEO from outside to run it, right? Why? Because I believe that talent runs business, not your son or your daughter, right? Talents, right? Yeah. Let's say if my sons run the business and they can run it, right? The business will go down. It won't benefit anyone. It won't benefit the shareholders. It won't benefit the 5 families. It won't benefit the employees. It won't benefit the customers. It won't benefit the community. If I hire someone from outside and then the business go up, it will benefit the shareholders. It will benefit all my nephews and nieces. It will benefit my sons. It will benefit the employees, and it will benefit the communities, right? When it has to be successful. Right? Now, Kellen, if you read book, you read the Walmart story, Sam Walton of Walmart.
Yeah.
He founded Walmart from a corner store. Right?
Yes.
And then he create trust. When the Walmart went up, he create trust, and then he give all his wealth to his children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And none of his children run Walmart. But Walmart today is the biggest company on earth, and all of them are the richest people on earth, and they only sit on the board, and they don't work there. Right? If you go on Google An Wang Laboratory, Dr. Wang at the time, he founded the company called Wang Laboratory in Massachusetts, a Chinese, hardware and software. It was so popular at the time. He wanted his son to run it. Right? He made his son a president. His son was not able to, didn't even want to run it. But he, Chinese, right? So he basically forced his son to take the role as a president. And then because it was a publicly trading company, so when the company didn't do well, then the shareholders forced him to fire his son. Right? And then at the time, before he passed away in the hospital bed, he had to mend his relationship with his son. Right? And today, Wang Laboratory is no longer existing. Right? So the typical example is you have to have good people, talented people run your business. This is America. You create your company in a structure that the family still own the business. You make decision on a higher level, and then the operation, you have to have great people run your business. So that is my philosophy. And this year, I hired a gentleman 6 years ago. He proved to be very, very incredible person. He knows how to run the business. He set up a Atlanta beauty business, and he grew the company from almost like double the companies over the few years working with me. This year, I step aside. I become a chairman, and he is the CEO. So that is my this year. So that is my success and plan. It doesn't mean that I go anywhere. It's just like I give him a lot more authority to run the business, and he worked with me to make sure that we embrace the culture. Right? The culture, we value employees, we value customers, we treat customers like the king, we value employees like important assets, and then we work with the community like our families. So we embrace that philosophy, and he is a wonderful person. So I'm very optimistic about the future of the company.
Wow, I love your stories so much too, Andrew.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Because I love the culture that you mentioned about when you run the company. Yes, I love your philosophy.
Yeah, nice.
I just imagine I can sit down and listen to your stories for a whole day.
Everyone has a story to tell. Right? You don't have to tell your story. Tell it authentically. Tell based on what from your heart. Tell from what you know, and say what you mean. Do what you say. Right? So that is something that we always want, and then continue learn, right? Learning through our life. That is the way we want, and without learning, that person will it's just like dying, right? So we have to learn.
Yes, I agree. How is a normal day? How does it start?
My normal day is always, in the morning, I listen to one podcast, right? In financial or live or, some inspiration story. I read one article, right?
Yes.
I always want to read something, I pick a few of, people who send me articles all the time. So I pick one or two, a great article to read. I try to read some inspirational quotes, to inspire myself to be a better person. And then I usually once a week, I usually love to publish one story, about people or about incidents, events that I encounter on my LinkedIn or my Facebook, right? So people like story. People like humbling. Tell it humbly, tell it authentically, and tell it from your heart. Right? So people will like that. And then and then I read my email. I support my team from afar. Sometimes people ask me certain things, then I do, I do give them, some idea. If I cannot advise them, that I refer them to their boss, right? So I'm a people's person. I love to engage with people, and then I have time. Then I go to I walk in a retailer store like a Safeway, like a Costco, like some local market here.
Yeah.
And I take a walk through. I see my products. I try to re-merchandise my products and make sure that well, then evening I love to bring my wife to have a glass of wine or a cocktail to eat some food. Yeah,
romantic.
So that's my normal days. Yeah.
Lovely. Julie, I think this is the last one. Where did you live in Vietnam? You said in countryside. Which one? Where is it?
Bạc Liêu.
Oh.
Yeah, you know Bạc Liêu.
Yes, I know.
Dòng Nhãn, Bạc Liêu. It's Long An, right? Dòng Nhãn đó.
Yeah.
That area is famous for mãng cầu và dòng nhãn. Nhãn. At the time we came here, I knew that, yes, not too many Vietnamese here, right? So I had to speak English to be successful here, So that's why I put myself into ESL school, City College, San Francisco State. I try to practice my English speaking, but even so, I still speak English with a heavy accent, right? So it's okay to carry that, people know that I'm, I'm not, I was not born here, right? So, but it's okay because I love to be authentic. I love to tell an underdog story, right? We are the underdog, right? And only in America, that the underdog person can tell an underdog story and go to national publications, right? So a lot of publications pick up our story. Even Obama, in the White House, they reached out and they wanted to publish my story. The president used my story to tell the immigration story. So I am very grateful that we are here, right? I always want to make sure that I still speak Chinese, speak Vietnamese, read some Vietnamese, but I also want to make sure that I am successful because we live in this land.
Thank you so much, Julie, to Andrew, for spending time this morning for me. A Friday, very lovely Friday.
Thank you so much for having me. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can always email me.
Your stories, your philosophy, I have to say, inspired me too much today, to Andrew. Yes.
Thank you.
Truly
Thank you,
to say,
Kellen. Yeah, thank you.